afternoon, everybody. Welcome Twitch channel. Welcome our Twitchers here. My name is Patrick France, senior instructor here at VectorVest, main leader of our mobile application. Today, as always, as last week started off, we're doing a new session here on Tuesdays, where we're really diving into the mobile applications, showing you guys what it has to offer, so that way, you get to see all the benefits that VectorVest has to offer. And today we're just going to really just be doing a general overview of the VectorVest software, the stock advisory app specifically. And if you guys have any questions while we're going through it, let me know in the chat. We'd be glad to spend some time on each section. But we're going to break down all the different features the stock advisory app really has to offer you here today. But before we get started, give me 1 second here. I just want to change this. This is not the way it was showing earlier, so bear with me for 1 moment. Go. Perfect. All right. So if you're new here, let me know. If you're not new here, let me know who's tuned in. Let's see some faces here in the chat here today. But once again, my name is Patrick France, senior instructor here at VectorVest, head leader in training in our mobile platform. So that's what we're going to be focused on Tuesdays, is specifically looking at our mobile application, all the features it has to offer. Last week, if you go back, you can watch our videos. Last week, we really discussed how to manage a portfolio just utilizing the stock advisory, nothing else. Today, we're just going to really do a high overview, if you will, of all the different features that the stock advisory has to offer you. So, as always, when you first start into the app, the first page you're always going to see is going to be the home, or the overview page, or the home page, as I like to call it. This is going to be that quick answer of whether or not you should buy or not buy. Going to tell you what's going on in the market right now and give you that information that if you're on the go, it'll help you be aware of what's happening in the market and make sure you stay on top of things. So that way you can stay in tune with the market, even if you're, not by your computer, or if you're, out running errands, or, out playing golf, whatever it may be. It's a great way to stay on top of things and knowing exactly what's happening in the market at any given time. So as you can see here, right at the very top center, it always tells us whether or not today's a good day to be buying or not a good day to be buying. As you can see, today's market is now changed to somewhat bullish, and VectorVest advocates buying safe, undervalued stocks that are rising in price at this time. It's as simple as that. We'll give you clear, concise information or answers on if you need to be buying a stock, whether or not today is that day that you should actually be buying. Because as we mentioned before, as the talking heads on TV say, there's always something to buy every day. We here at VectorVest believe that not every day is a good day to be buying. Because the way we look at the market is from looking at about 8,400 stocks rather than just looking at the Dow's 30 or the Nasdaq's 100 or the S&P's 500. We look at about 8,400 stocks and utilize that to get an overview of what's really happening in the broad market moves. So when we say it's a good day to buy, we know the overall market is moving, that there's more stocks moving up than going down. We know that the probability is in our favor, that no matter what stock we get into, if we get into a stock, that we have a high probability of being successful in that trade, and we're going to catch some wind to our sails as well. So if you scroll down a little bit here, the next aspect on the overview page that's really important, especially if you're new to VectorVest, or if you're not a subscriber or not on a trial, but just tuning in for your first time. The market guidance videos we do every single night, Monday through Friday. Now, Monday through Thursday, we do the daily color guard report, and that's about a 5-minute to 10-minute synopsis of what's going on in the market today, what to expect for tomorrow, what news you need to be aware of, and make sure that you're prepared for the next trading day. Now, on Fridays, we do a more thorough, detailed description of this video that we call the weekly special presentation. This is going to give you all the information you need to know. Typically, it's a little longer. It can be, 20 minutes or so, but you have all weekend to watch it to make sure you're prepared for the next trading week, aware of any longer-term trends, aware of the current climate of the market. And also, that's where you get Dr. DeLito, our founder's personal guidance every single week. Now, this is where you can go back time and time again and see his essays that he's written over the years, where he, told people back in November of 2007 that, hey, the market's getting or entering into a long-term bear market. If you're a long-term investor, this would be a good time to start closing your positions, moving to the sidelines, and being patient, waiting for the market to drop. Also, on the inverse of things, back in March of 2009, he wrote an essay, The Market's Itching to Rally, where he started talking about, bad news wasn't as bad as what people were expecting. So they were actually having optimism about that. And we're seeing stocks starting to rise. And that's where he told our investors that, if the market rises come Monday, that would be a good time to start getting in, especially if you're a long-term investor. So pretty much nailing it within about a month or so of the official bottom of the 2007-2008 financial crisis. That's where Dr. Delito gave his own specific guidance here to show you or to tell you exactly when you should be getting in or getting out, and giving his reasons for why that was happening as well. Below that, we get our color guard. So this is where, as a desktop subscriber, you'll see this. If you're not on the desktop subscription, if you're just on the mobile application, you won't see the color guard for now. But if you're on the desktop, this will probably be familiar to you. And this is really breaking down our market analysis that we do on the overall market each and every night. Now, if you're not familiar with this, all you got to do, or if you're just on this the mobile application, all you have to do is watch that daily color guard report, and we'll detail all these indicators for you every single night. So that way you can stay in tune with them, learn how to use them, get tips and pointers with them, to make sure that you're on top of things and able to really take full advantage of the market trends. And then below there, we get the market advances to declines. Now, this is a great indicator if you're looking to buy for a day and you want to make sure that more stocks are advancing than declining. As we can see right now, about 49% of stocks are moving higher, about 40% of stocks are moving lower. So yes, we have more stocks moving higher than lower, but at the same time, we typically like to favor a 2-to-1 bias in a certain direction. So if the market's moving higher, we'd like to see about 80% of stocks moving higher and about 40% of stocks moving lower, or somewhere in that rate. That way, we do see that we have more stocks participating, giving us a higher probability of success, knowing that if we did get into a stock for that day, that we have an extremely strong probability that that's going to be one of those 80% of stocks moving higher there. Then right below there is where you can check out what the major indices are doing. So here we can see the Dow's basically flat for the day, NASDAQ's basically flat, same as the S&P, but the overall VectorVest composite. So once again, the index that we use here at VectorVest is something you can't find anywhere else, is actually just turning in the green for the day. As we can see just by looking at these quick mini graphs, the Dow, the NASDAQ, and the S&P have come back nicely throughout the day. But if you were just looking at those, or if you're just looking at what the major indices are doing on TV, you would miss out on the bigger picture of things. Right now you see, okay, we're actually in the red today, but the overall market is actually slightly higher. Now, not by much, but still gives you a little bit better of a picture of what's really happening. So that's the overview and a quick synopsis here. Once again, I see more and more people tuning in. So if you're new here, let me know. If you're a regular Twitcher here on our VectorVest channel, make sure to let me know that as well. Say hi. Don't be shy. Also, if you have any questions why we're going through this, you can always put them in the chat there. I'd be glad to go over that, explain anything that you guys have questions about. Make sure, you're really getting the full benefit out of what we're talking about here today. So also, one last feature that I didn't talk about originally is if you're on the go, let's say you're out doing some errands, and you run into a friend and they tell you, oh yeah, I got this really good stock tip, stock XYZ, whatever it may be. All you have to do is pull up the stock advisory in a matter of seconds at the top. You can simply click or tap on the symbols or company name box here, type in the symbol, and get a quick synopsis or a quick overview and detailed description of that specific stock, so you can know really more about it, what it's doing, whether or not it's, a stock that you would actually be interested in or not. A lot of good information can be found in a matter of just seconds here. Regular viewer Tectonics coming in. Glad to know that you're a regular viewer to this to the channel here. So yeah, going back to it though, as you saw, I just tapped on the menu button. So the hamburger button, if you will, the menu button in the upper left, that takes you into our different areas of the stock advisory that you can use. So we'll just work our way from top to right, or top to bottom. So starting off at the top, this is something for more international subscribers because we're in about 9 different markets all around the world. And something that people seem to look over and not realize that they have this ability. But if you're in different markets, you can actually choose different markets. Right here at the top where it has the US flag and it says the United States, you can click on that. You can choose any one of the markets that we have to offer. So you can actually switch right between these two, which makes it really nice so you can go back and forth without having to worry about it and see the stocks that you're really interested in. So, if US stocks, if you're in Canada, let's say, and you're not in the US markets, by all means, you can choose the Canadian market and go right into that and get the same analysis that you could on any stock that we track here in the US database as well. So then below that though, we get the My Watchlist section. Now the My Watchlist section, as we talked about last week, if you missed out last week, I'd definitely go back and rewatch that. You can see really getting into the meat and potatoes of the watch list, but to give a quick synopsis of it, if you will, the watch list section is one of the most powerful pieces here. Is one of the most powerful pieces to the VectorVest software, especially if you're a new subscriber or just somebody who's interested in it that wants to know how to get started. The watch list will allow you to manage your portfolio in a matter of seconds. Get your portfolio back on the right track. So if you're not having success, build a watch list and it'll show you, which stocks are doing good, which stocks are doing bad, or in other words, which stocks you should really be focusing on and which stocks that, you don't have to worry about right now. So just to walk through one, we just click on the create button. Actually, let me make this a little smaller so you guys can see that here. So right above this rank by that you see here at the top, there's a button that says create. Go back and check last week. We definitely went over that as well. But that'll show you exactly how we get to that feature. So if we tap on create, this is where you just give it a name. So we'll call this Twitch Live. Create the watch list. So then, as you can see, it says to tap the plus symbol in the upper right to add stocks to your watch list. So if you tap on that, that's where you can put your symbols in. The great thing about this is even if you don't know the symbol for your stock, that's okay. It can look it up by the company name. So you guys have a stock that you want to take a look at, or you want to, that you have on your mind right now, let me know. We could use that as an example. But if not, we can just go ahead and come up with one. Let's say DuPont. So you start typing in for DuPont, you see DD comes up instantly for you. So you just tap on that, instantly put in your portfolio. And then you just go ahead and add on whatever else stocks you have. So HEI, let's go, pick some of the ones we've selected before. Microsoft, some of the bigger names that you guys are familiar with most likely. Amazon, Disney. I don't know about you guys, but I'm looking forward to the Disney Plus coming out. I have a feeling it's going to be, a good competition for Netflix. So I'm looking forward to seeing that come out, see how that's going to do for the stock price. So far, it's been pretty good, but we'll keep an eye on that as we move forward here. Let's go ahead, choose a couple more. Gold's been a big one, so we'll put Kirkland Lake. And then we'll choose the Facebook. And speaking of Facebook, for anybody that's not familiar with me, that likes what you're seeing here, I do also have training on Facebook as well. Every Thursday at 11 a.m. Eastern, we do some training on the mobile app as well. We do a Facebook Live event. So if you like what you're seeing here, you like the stock advisory app, make sure to tune into those as well, because we do specific areas where we talk about different trading ideas or new watch lists or new features that are coming out. That's where we really start to dive into those specifically. Is every Thursday at 11 a.m. That's Eastern time too. Just wanted to make sure I point that out. All right. So once we've got our watch list built, as you notice, it's not in the same order that we put our stocks in. VectorVest is the only place out there, because you hear the term watch list be used quite frequently. And when you put them in, when you think of a watch list, typically most people think about, only being able to see the stocks as you listed them, or just getting, the basic information with it. Whereas VectorVest automatically sorts them to bring the best stocks to the top and the worst stocks to the bottom. Hey, thank you for that, Steve. Coming in with 2 months in a row. Awesome. Thank you for that Twitch Prime, Steve. Welcome, welcome. Glad to have you here. Also, we'll get into that here in a little bit, but if you're not following the channel, make sure to hit that sub button or the follow button. Let me make sure I'm pointing in the right corner. I think it's over this way. Yeah, right up that way. Make sure to hit that follow button if you're not following us already. But yeah, thank you, Steve, for that. So getting back into it though, we'll automatically point out the best stocks at the top, the worst stocks at the bottom. As we talked about last week, a great way to instantly identify, especially if you're new to the VectorVest software, new to the stock advisory app, to identify the stocks that you really want to spend some time on and reevaluate, is by changing the sort from VST to RT. Now, if you double tap on RT, it'll bring the worst RTs to the top. So RT stands for the relative timing. And the relative timing is the short-term price trend of a stock. So what that's telling us is, since all of our indicators are cast on scales of 0 to 2, anything below 1 is in a downtrend, or aka losing you money. Anything above 1 is in an uptrend, or simply making you money. So when we come in here, we sort it by the worst RTs at the top. We see DuPont actually has an RT of 0.74. So that tells us that it's losing us money right now. And let me know if you disagree with me, but I think most people would, that it doesn't make sense to hold on to a stock that's losing us money. Let's see. It would be nice if the sort order would be persistent. Like US stock, then go back to the list. Yeah. Steve, I will definitely make note of that. Producer Dan, if you're in the background, make note of that, because I do a lot with what happens in the stock advisory. I do a lot with adding new functionality, new features to it. So yeah, that's definitely a great idea. I got Dan in the background who will note it for me, and I'll make sure I take that into our meeting coming up soon. Well, there you go. Already have it on the roadmap for that. So there's your answer, Steve, right here. In a matter of seconds, we give you quick answers, just like with any stock analysis that we do here for you. So getting back into it though, looking at DD, we see that this is the worst performer we're holding in our portfolio right now. We come into it and we get a quick synopsis or a quick breakdown of the stock. Now, if you're new to VectorVest, we see these indicators: upside potential, safety, timing, overall. So all 4 of these are going to be cast on a scale of 0 to 2. And we here at VectorVest like to keep things simple. So anything above 1 is good, below 1 is bad. If we look at DuPont, a fairly conservative name. We see the long-term or upside potential, which is over the next 1 to 3 years, below 1. So we know that's poor. We look at the safety factor. How much risk is involved with this stock? 0.72, that's below 1. That's poor. We look at the timing, 0.74. We know the stock's in a downtrend. That's poor. So overall, the stock has a poor fundamental and technical reading on it currently. And now these update every single day. Right now, this will update even in real time for you. And if you're not, you can take a look at, and you can pull this up on any stock throughout the whole entire database as well. But if we look here, we can quickly get a business description, a quick graph and summary. Then you get all of our indicators, a breakdown of what goes into those, any information that you need to know, if they're cast on a scaling, how they fare on that scaling. This is like a great cheat sheet, if you will. So we see all the things that we see with DuPont look pretty bad right now. But as always, you should always take a look at the graph of a stock before ever purchasing. So let's go 6 months. 6 months, we see the price is steadily declining from just shy of 180, so maybe 170 roughly, all the way down to 70 now. So $100 a share just within the last 6 months. We look at earnings per share, that's steadily falling. So let me go ahead and make this bigger for everybody here. And while I'm doing that also, if you are following the channel, you haven't already subbed, make sure to hit that subscribe button. You know, if you have a Twitch or if you have a Amazon Prime account, it's free. You just connect your Amazon Prime account to your Twitch account, and you can support our channel by subscribing to us for absolutely no cost to you. And it helps us out, helps us grow. So if you're enjoying this, make sure to do that. You can also use !Prime in the chat as well to get the link for that. So as we look at DD, you know, what we can see, this is over the last 6 months, just a steady decline, dropping like a stair step from upper left to bottom right. Same as earnings. Earnings are going from upper left to bottom right, just like a stair step pattern. Now, what we typically favor here at VectorVest is the inverse of this. You know, we like to look for a steady rising price from bottom left to upper right, and also a steadily rising earnings from bottom left to upper right as well. And especially looking at earnings, you know, we here at VectorVest believe that earnings are the key factor to take into consideration because they drive stock prices higher over time. You know, you have to ask yourself, if somebody came with a proposal for 2 different stocks or 2 different companies, let's say, and they wanted you to invest in them, and they said, hey, this company, you know, has been making money consistently year over year, quarter over quarter. You know, we've grown from 1,000 customers to 10,000 customers. And then the other proposal was for a company that came in and said, hey, we've been, you know, losing money year over year, quarter over quarter. We've gone from, you know, 20,000 customers down to 15,000 customers. You know, we just need you to invest so we can keep our company afloat. Now, which company would you want to put your money in? Would you want to back the company that's, you know, showing that the company is losing money consistently, or the company that's growing money consistently? You know, if you want to make money off of your investment, which one would you pick? You know, if it was me, I would definitely be picking the company that has grown considerably. Yeah, Steve, but I don't know. You know, that may have been for a day or two, but even if you see that, let's go zoom out to a 1 year. Even for that brief blip on the radar, I still don't think anybody's going to buy that there. You know, when you look at the 1 year, steadily falling earnings, we're falling at that point. So if you follow just a few key things that we talk about here, when you see that, you're not going to buy it just because the price wasn't steadily rising, the earnings weren't steadily rising. You know, you want to find stocks that are rising with the market and not trying to buy the ones that are consistently falling as the market's going higher. Because if the stock's consistently falling as the market's going higher, you know that's not a stock that's really participating. So the likelihood, even on that one day that it had that blip of green, that it was going to keep on going is slim to none. And lo and behold, look where it's at right now. So I don't think anybody who would be interested in this would have been interested even on that day. So that's what we're looking at when we see the graphs here. Getting back into it. Let me switch back. There we go. So as you can see, quick, easy way to understand, you know, get a good understanding of that of any stock really. You know, a lot of places out there will give you just scads of data that you have to go through and analyze on your own to come up with, you know, a conclusion. But sometimes your you know, and that analysis can be biased. There could be, you know, one thing you overlooked could give you one answer, whereas if you looked at everything, could give you a different answer. But we take all that data that you would have to go through on your own, put it through our system here, and break it down to give you information in a matter of seconds that you can actually use, to make a informed decision on a stock rather than spending hours upon hours trying to decipher all that data on your own. So, not only can VectorVest, help you make smarter decisions, it can make you can help you make smarter decisions faster as well. So, as we can see, DuPont, definitely not that great of a stock. Moving lower. So, once you sell a stock, all you got to do to get rid of it, just simply swipe it and it's gone. Out of sight, out of mind. So this is a great place to start off with. Once again, if you're a new subscriber, to start off by building a watch list to help you get your portfolio on the right track. And that way get you on the right track for success in the market as well. So those are the watch lists. As we talked about, if you want more insight on how to manage your portfolio, definitely go tune in to our video last week. It was definitely a good one where we showed you how to manage your portfolio in a matter of seconds utilizing the watch list. Hey, thank you, Kirby. Thank you for the cheer. All right, so that's the watch list. The next is the portfolio section, which if you have a desktop subscription, you can build portfolios, track your dollar per share, track stops, get alerts on those stops. It's basically a way of tracking your portfolio by a paper trade portfolio. You could easily see those here if you wanted to. This is an account, a test account, so I don't know if it has anything in here. I don't think it does. It's not my typical account that I use. Doesn't look like it has anything in it right now. Looks like it's basically an empty portfolio. So we're going to skip over that because that's more of a desktop feature. Just a great way, if you're a desktop user, you can view that and get that information on the go as well. So then after the portfolios, we then have the market overview once again, which is where we started off at. It's always going to be the first page that you see whenever you sign into the stock advisory app. And then the views. So we talked about that daily color guard report right on the home page or right on the overview page. The views are going to be a written out version of that video. So if you're somebody like me who learns better or retains information better by reading rather than watching a video, the views can be extremely beneficial for you. Once again, as we talked about, here's the Friday's views. This is where that detailed, more lengthy, or more detailed description of that daily color guard report video can be found. This is where you can get all of our events, webcasts that we do, Dr. DeLito's essay, the market review, a quick synopsis of what's going on in the market. Once again, now you're starting to get into Dr. DeLito's essay. This week he did an excellent job talking about the Midas touch, going into more detail from the previous week. And a lot of information about earnings. What are the markets doing based off earnings? Because as we mentioned earlier, earnings are going to be the main engine that drives stock prices higher over time. You can switch from different pages, so you get the valuations, the timing, the climate. So not just is the market moving higher or lower, but what's the overall climate of the market? Something unique with VectorVest that makes it really easy to understand, that you're not going to really find anywhere else. The way we break it down and this the simplicity that we use when breaking it down, that way any individual could use it. VectorVest was designed originally for the individual investor, for the mom and dads of families, or people who are retired that are by themselves, that want to invest their own money and don't want to rely on a money manager or somebody to invest their funds. They want to take their financial career into their own hands. That's what VectorVest was designed for, is to help the individual out, not the big broker or anything like that. And that's why we've been around for so long, is because we've done an excellent job in helping people manage their own portfolios over the years, over the last 30 plus years that we've been around. And that's our longevity here at VectorVest really speaks for itself. So then after the views, we then get the watch list, jumping into those. So the watch list, especially the premium watch list, are going to be where you can find some of our hot picks or our hot stocks right now. Now, once again, as we talked about in the overview, not every day is a great day to buy. If it is a good day to buy, as we talked about, we did have some guidance telling us that, we could potentially buy some safe, undervalued stocks that are rising in price. This is a great place to go to find those types of stocks. Now, Midas touch stocks are more of those momentum plays. So if you're a short-term swing trader, this is a great place to go to find some stocks. You can make some excellent gains in very, very short periods of time. Being a swing trader, you're looking anywhere from a week to potentially up to 3 months. So, I couldn't agree with you more, Kirby. So, Kirby says nobody's going to nobody's going to care about your money more than you do. Yeah, that is about as true as you could say here at VectorVest. We firmly believe that no money or nobody's going to watch your money better than you will. Hey there, Cub. Welcome. And that's the thing about being here at VectorVest, spending over almost 9 years here at VectorVest. I've talked with a lot of people. I've talked to people who are money managers, people who or just manage people's funds, retirement investors or retirement guides or all that. And let's just say, even though they have that job title, doesn't mean they know more about it than you do sometimes. And that's where VectorVest can come into play, is because we can help you make those smart decisions. Hey, thank you, Cub, for that Twitch Prime. Coming back for 3 months now on a 3-month streak. Welcome. Glad to have you back here. Welcome. So that's the great thing about what VectorVest does, is it can give you some great momentum tips. If you're a swing trader, these are some great stocks that you can make explosive gains on in a very quick period of time. Get in, get out, make your money, move on. Now, if you're more of a longer term investor, we got the safest stocks with buy ratings. One of my personal favorites here in the stock advisory. As we saw, HEI, we just talked about earlier, it's been one of our top stocks for quite a while. We take a look, we can see upside potential is great. Long term, the safety factor extremely strong. Then a really nice strong uptrend. Overall, stock's favorable. I was looking at this even a couple of months ago, so I know it's been in here for at least since May is the number one. If we go back, let's say 3 months, we're looking a run up from about 105 to 138. Not bad for a safe, consistent stock. So I see Kirby saying, do you know why they call a broker a broker? They usually are broker than you. They want to manage your money. I've never heard that one before, Kirby. I like that. So yeah, HEI is a great stock. One of the nice features that's new with one of the updates we've recently done, you just simply swipe from one stock to the next. So you can go through quickly and easily to look for the ones that really look good for you. If you're spending more than 30 seconds looking at the graph of a stock, most likely you're looking for a reason to buy it rather than having the stock sell itself to you. Just keep that in mind. Always a tip that I like to tell people, the 30-second rule on looking at a graph. So getting back into it, though, we can see, some great big names. Most likely you're going to be familiar with Visa, Lulu, Edwards Sciences, Disney's even in here, Estee Lauder, Tuit, Regen, which is a huge biotech, but a lot of really fundamentally sound companies here that have shown consistency in growing their earnings quarter over quarter, year over year. So, if you're a long-term investor, safest stocks with buy ratings is a great place to go. Then one of my personal favorite additions, we talked about it last week a little bit, the Daily Boomers. I see some people, some familiar faces, some people from our Jockey Club, which is more of our day trading room, or day trading, swing trading, more aggressive trading, more so than long-term investing. I use this search quite a lot here at VectorVest to find some cheap stocks that are having some explosive moves early on, capture some great day trades early in the morning. That first 30 minutes after the market opens is typically the most volatile point in the market, and take advantage of that volatility and capture some explosive movers just to generate some additional gains in the portfolio, and a rinse and repeat kind of process here. But then, one of the big topics that's been in the news a lot over the year is the new 5G revolution that's supposed to be coming out. The new 5G wireless networks that are going to be released. I believe the first one has already been put up, but they're starting to get main production on them by the end of this year. The beginning of 2020, I think, is their deadlines. So, the 5G network could be extremely powerful, not only just for smartphones and technology in that sense now, but also for commercial use, which is really where one of the biggest benefits comes from. They have an idea of what kind of power they can get from it, but they don't have a full comprehension of all the benefits that they can get. So there's still a lot of upside, in that 5G network and what that can provide for you. Then, if you're a ETF fan, we've got index ETFs, bullish, index ETFs, bearish. So if the market's going down, obviously go to the bears. Market's going up, stick with the bulls. If you're a fan of the marijuana stocks, they've been having a rough summer recently. There's been a lot of smoke around those companies, been a lot of fire around those companies, if you will. So they've had a rough summer, had a lot of scandals coming out. So may not be the best time for them right now, but hey, what goes up must come down, and what goes down typically goes back up. So once they get those few issues righted, they could be back on the right track for success again. But you want to keep up to date with them. We got them right there for you. So after that, you get Categorized Watchlist, which is just a more detailed view of what we have in the desktop program. If you're on just the mobile, you won't have the Categorized Watchlist, but you'll have just the regular watchlist section. There's a little bit of a difference, but not much. You're still going to get most of the best watchlist in that watchlist section for you. And then we get the screener, which is going to be like running scans throughout the day, where you get the safest stocks with buy ratings once again. Then you get breakdowns more into specific investment styles. We categorize investment styles into about 4 main categories. That's prudent, aggressive, conservative, and speculative. And as a VectorVest subscriber, we help actually quantify your investment style rather than people just taking a guess and thinking they're buying a certain type of stock, but really they're a different type of investor. I see people all the time getting into really aggressive trades, but they would consider themselves to be more of a conservative investor, a longer term investor, more so than a trader. And when you buy the wrong stocks that don't match up with what your goals are, that's a plan, or that's a real easy way to get your portfolio off course and on the wrong track. And we here at VectorVest want to work with that, want to work with those people to help them get them on the right track. Make sure that we can get them making money again, and make sure that they're successful in growing their portfolios and be able to retire comfortably and know exactly how to do that as well. So then after the screeners, we get different model portfolios. Once again, this is something unique for desktop subscribers, but our model portfolios are portfolios that we've time tested. We've done the historical testing on them to make sure that they can withstand the test of time. And so if you don't want to spend a lot of time on, doing your own testing and trying to develop your own trading plan, that's okay. We got you covered here at VectorVest. We'll actually give you our detailed plans right here so you can follow them, mimic them, and make the trades as they make the trades. And each one is a little bit different, but as you can see, model portfolio number 1 so far up 242%. Model portfolio number 2. So some of these are more aggressive, some of these are more conservative. We got plans to fit all different styles of investing here. Model portfolio number 2 up 188%. Portfolio number 3, just taking a brief overview of these as well. 155%. Portfolio number 4. And also, if you want more insight onto these, or if you want more insight into these portfolios, make sure to give our supporter a call as well. They'd be glad to answer any questions you have. Model portfolio number 4 up 137%. Portfolio number 5 See where that is. 109%. Money makers. See. 153%. So all of these, the worst performers still up over 100%. Not bad. They show their proven track records right there. And then getting into it, we get down to the stock analysis, stock lookup features. So these are a quick way if you're on the go once again, you're running through or running errands or whatever you may be doing, you're out and about. And that's looking at the stock analysis section here. You can go to it. You can pull up a quick report of any stock that you'd be interested in. Let's take Yeti, for example. I got my Yeti right next to me. That's why I came up with that one. Model portfolios have been moving sideways mostly except for number 5, which is doing great this year. But that's the thing. Look at what the markets have been doing. Markets are actually overall, you see everybody talking about, the S&P, the Dow, the NASDAQ, they're all hitting record highs. But they're only looking at a very specific small segment of the market. If you look at the broad market, we're still not at new highs yet. So the markets are actually lower than they were earlier this year and lower than they were previously. So, the fact that they've at least been able to hold their own, most of those being all long, still not too shabby though. And yeah, that's why some of those have both, long and short positions. Some of them are just strictly long. There is that factor to take into account. But yeah, so in a sideways market, if they're always bullish positions in those portfolios and they're still holding up, that speaks for itself right there. But yeah, looking at the stock analysis, you can see once again we saw that stock analysis report earlier. We can get a quick description of what the company is, a brief summary, and a detailed report of every single thing you could possibly want to know about the stock. As we scroll down, we can get even more information like earnings growth rate, earnings per share, PE ratios, earnings yield. If you're more of a dividend investor, obviously Yeti doesn't have dividends, but we can see dividend information found in here as well. Market capitalization information as well, sales per share, price of sales, number of shares, market cap, all that information can be found right here in the palm of your hand with the Stock Advisory app. So going back, stock lookup, another way to do that, but instead of going straight to the report, it takes you to just the overview. So we'll go take a look once again. We just looked at Yeti. Let's go ahead and take a look at we'll do HEI once again. And that'll bring you right to that report. Oh, I think, yeah, typed in the wrong symbol. But either way, you get this screen. So you can get to the graph quickly. You can get the quick synopsis. And you can get a breakdown of the extra data. So, once again, the market cap, dividend information, all of that right here with just, 2 taps of your screen. Then you have a quick link right to the graphs. But then one of the nice features with the Stock Advisory is that you can actually trade, even though VectorVest is not a broker, we do have partnerships with brokerages that you can trade directly through your Stock Advisory app to your broker from on the go, from anywhere you're in, or as long as you have an internet connection, you can trade directly to your account from here. So just taking a look at the Trade Now feature, I'll show you how you can actually make this even quicker and easier. So right now you can see I'm hooked up with the Interactive Brokers. This is a paper trading account it's listed in. You can see orders, get all pending, canceled, rejected. Same thing you'd see typically with the broker. But instead of having to go from, let's say your information source to your broker and having to flop back and forth or switch back and forth, you can keep it all in one place and keep it all organized for you in one place as well. So let's go back. We see the market is telling us that it's somewhat bullish here. So let's walk through this. We'll go to the premium watch list, go to Midas Touch Stocks, pull these up. Let's see. Kirkland Lake, maybe. GOL, HTH. All right, I like SLP. Nice steady rising price. Let's go 6 months. Looks phenomenal. 1 year. Looks phenomenal. Earnings steadily rising. Granted, it did have some rough patches, but overall steadily moving higher. So I like SLP. I can use the options in the upper right. Go to trade now. Here's where I can set up my order tickets so I can buy, sell short, buy to cover. Quantity, let's say 100 shares. There we go. I can change my order types right here as well. Trading it 318. Let's go limit for 39.18. So 39.19. Then you can choose your duration, good till canceled or day. I'm going to use for the day, preview order. Get a confirmation, place a trade. So just as easy as that, you can instantly send your trades right over to your broker account. So that was from, let's say a swing trade perspective. But if we want to get into safer stocks, we can go back to the the safest stocks with buy ratings, HEI. Like what we're seeing here so far, everything's looking pretty good. So let's go ahead. We tap on the menu, go to trade now. Say 10 shares of that. Actually, let's go 20 shares. Go. Limit 38. Go 22. Preview order. Place it. There we go. Swing trade. So, really, I'm just doing these just to show you how easy you can send those trades through, directly through. HEI would probably be one of the longer term trades. The other one, SLP, I believe. Actually, let's go back to the trade now feature. SLP, yeah, we could say that was a swing trade. The HEI was a long-term trade. And just like that, we can see one's already telling us it's filled. The other one's currently pending. We could sort it by that or filter it by that if we wanted to. And then here you get the actual paper trade account. You can see all the holdings that are currently in it. So right now, looks like we got some Apple in here, some ACTA, ADTR. A lot of stocks that begin with A here. But yeah, you can see the breakdown of your price, the value, average price per share that you're holding, the quantity that you're holding, all the basic information that you need to know right away. Net gain, net loss, all of that here can be found. And now let's say, let's find a trade, this BRSWQ. I don't like that. Obviously, we're down a lot in it. Just say we wanted to close it. Swipe to the left. Sell, market order, preview order. Just like that. Place it. And our trade's gone. We've already got out of that position. Closed it, ready to go, ready to move on. Freed up that cash, reinvest. You know, it's not a lot of cash on that one, but freed up cash to reinvest to make sure that when we do get a better buying opportunity, we got some cash ready to go. And now, if you are a desktop subscriber, one of the nice things is also the Robo Trader, which will allow you to actually semi-automate your portfolio, where it'll take that trade now function to one step further. You can put in your portfolio and your rules for your portfolio, and it'll automate the whole system up into the point of just needing confirmation that you want to place that trade. Down the line, we are working on a fully auto system. That's one of the big things we're really looking forward to releasing. Obviously, we're doing a lot of testing in-house on that. But that's one of the things you can do with the stock advisory. If you're a desktop subscriber, you can have it automate your portfolio for you to the point of just needing to come in. It'll tell you, hey, stock XYZ needs to be, needs to be sold, needs to be replaced with this position. Here's how much of each share you should be replacing with. It'll get your orders ready to go, everything. All you got to do is come in here and just tap on the order that you want to send through, and just like that, gone. Add your portfolio. So it makes managing your portfolio easier than ever. And that's the thing, as you guys can see, this is, going off an interactive broker account. Personally, I like it a lot. I love interactive brokers because they have great commission costs. They have, quick trades. The trade time goes through quickly. But one of the things I constantly hear from people that use it as well is that they don't like the brokerage interface itself. Well, I never use the brokerage interface. I use it through VectorVest, so I don't ever see that because I don't have to worry about getting in there to manage it that way. I can manage everything from here because I know VectorVest will give me a simple, easy layout to follow to make it, my execution speed and my trades simple, easy, and basically seamless. So if you're not somebody who's super savvy on a computer, you're not super savvy in the markets and knowing what all these little clicks do, well, just put it in VectorVest, hook it up through this, and it'll do everything for you. So here we get the action items. We can see here's our portfolio's new action item by 7:55 GOL. Place order. We just tap on it, preview, and place. Just as easy as that. No matter of 5 seconds it took to get it or to get that order through. By 807 AU. Let's say we want to do limit though. There we go. And then preview, place the order. Here we go. Market, we'll go market order for right now. Just like that, all of our changes in our portfolio that we need to make have been made. Keeps it easy, simple. We can go about our day from here on out. All right, so that brings us back. That's all the features, just a brief overview. Now, we could spend a lot more time on each one of these specifically, but today I just wanted to talk about the different functionalities that the stock advisory can provide for you. If you like this or if you're new, saw something that you may not have been familiar with, make sure to hit that follow button. If you're already following us, make sure to subscribe once again. You can, link up your Amazon Prime account to your Twitch account. You can support us for free, no cost to you guys. Use !Prime in the chat to find out more, to get that link there. But all that helps us grow. We want to help you guys out by showing you and teaching you guys how to trade the market, how to become financially independent. So every like or every follow, every Twitch Prime sub that costs you nothing really helps us out, helps us grow this channel even more so. Also, we do have a special trial offer. So if you want everything you saw here, you can try it specifically only to Twitch subscribers or Twitch users. If you use !Offer, you can get 99 cents for 30 days. So see that link, click on it in the chat as well. If you're not a subscriber or not at least trying the stock advisor, not trying VectorVest out yet, make sure to click on that. 99 cents for 30 days. How could you pass that up? And then finally, the last thing as well, something new, a resource. It's not really a functionality or a feature, but it's more of a resource, especially if you're new to the market or if you're younger, just starting to get into the market. Being here on Twitch, there is a lot of people who are a lot younger utilizing this, this platform to watch their favorite streamers, whether it be games, whatever. And so if you're new, if you're one of those people that are just tuning in, happen to just randomly stumble across it, and maybe not familiar with how to trade the market, not familiar with the market at all, really, one of the nice features with the stock advisory is we have a whole successful investing course built into the mobile app for you. So that way you can get familiar with not only how to trade, how to understand VectorVest to improve your trading, and help you get on the right track. when I first started, when I first started before I came to VectorVest, there's a lot of things basic things that I would do wrong. I would, get in at the wrong time, or I would let a stock run a little bit too long and end up taking a bigger loss than what I wanted to have. Well, if you follow this course, you go through the successful investing course here. It's free, it doesn't cost you anything. It'll make sure you don't make those same mistakes or don't get started, making or learning bad behaviors or bad habits right out of the gate. It'll make sure you start off with a good sound, base to start with, or a good sound education to start with. Also, you can see the quick getting started video. You can watch videos on how to use all the different tools as well. So, not only do we provide you a lot of tools, we provide you a lot of support to help you understand how to get the most out of them. We also have our support line as well. I keep talking about them, but if you go to the contact us, you can find our phone number, email address, our hours of operation, all that right here as well. That's where I started off, as working in support. And we pride ourselves to be one of the best support groups I think I've ever dealt with. We want to spend that one-on-one time with you. We offer free training one-on-one, go over things here to teach you how to use our tools, as well as answer any questions or maybe any confusion that you have on how to utilize our tools. We go over the coaching to help you become a more successful investor. We have, and if you're new to VectorVest, if you take out that 99-cent trial, we'll even give you a free one-on-one coaching as part of just taking a trial out for VectorVest. So there's a lot that we have to offer. Our support's not just there to hey, our support's not there just to answer basic questions. They're there to answer the tough questions that can help you. And not a lot of people or not a lot of places out there can help you answer those questions like VectorVest does. So that's always, once again, one of the key benefits to utilizing VectorVest service. So with that, if you have any questions, feel free to let me know in the chat. If not, we'll start to wind things down for the day. But once again, my name is Patrick France. I'm a senior instructor here at VectorVest, primarily focusing on our mobile application, teaching people how to use our stock advisory app on the go and make money at it at the same time. If you liked what you've seen here today, you want to see more of the mobile app, make sure to tune into Facebook at 11 a.m. Eastern every Thursday. As I do Facebook live sessions or stream sessions as well there, going over specifically the stock advisory app, showing either new features that are coming out, new functionality, trading plans, money management, all different sorts of ways to better your own investing. And as always, we're streaming right now every single day, Monday through Friday at 2 p.m. Eastern. So I think Glenn will be on tomorrow. So if you want to support him, make sure to tune in tomorrow at 2 p.m. Eastern. But if you hit that or you hit the follow button, you will get notifications letting you know every time we go live as well. So with that, it's been my pleasure being with you here today. I hope you all have a great rest of your trading day. Take care, and we'll see you all tomorrow at 2. Bye for now, everybody.
Thank you for taking the time to watch this video. Now, if you're new to the software or would like refresher information about the software, click on this Getting Started video right here. Thanks to all of your input, here's a YouTube video that we think would be perfect for you. Click right here. If nothing else, folks, just hit the subscribe button right here.